Paul, what more can you tell us?
Good evening, Angela. Yes, indeed. Just in the last few minutes, that official statement has come out from Immigration Minister Alex Hawke, a decision some 4 days in the making. I have it here. Let me read it to you. Today, I exercise my power under Section 133C3 of the Migration Act to cancel the visa held by Mr Novak Djokovic on health and good order grounds, on the basis that it was in the public interest to do so. He goes on to say, in making this decision, I carefully considered information provided to me by the Department of Home Affairs, the Australian Border Force and Mr Djokovic. Now, this comes obviously during this saga that has seen Novak Djokovic arrive not vaccinated as required for entry in Australia, having said that he had previously had COVID, not being accepted as a reason for a medical exemption. Now, the question is what happens here. Novak Djokovic's legal team has been prepared for this. The next move is to apply for an injunction in the federal court in order to try and fight this decision. The question now is whether the federal court will now have enough time to hear this case over the weekend, if the intention is to appeal to try and get Novak Djokovic clear to play on Monday when the tournament is set to begin. So the decision has been made. Novak Djokovic's visa has been cancelled. The question now is how his legal team will respond and what will happen with Novak Djokovic now, whether he'll be moved to detention and how soon before deportation proceedings could begin.
Well, Paul, it's an interesting timing this afternoon, as I'm reading the same statement here as you have, coming literally a few minutes before 6 o'clock, which doesn't allow the Djokovic team much time to get into any court ahead of the weekend. But there's an interesting line in the statement too from the Minister saying that he made the decision based on information that came from Home Affairs, from Border Force, but also Mr Djokovic. So from that, are we led to believe that those admissions by Novak Djokovic during the week also played pretty heavily into the Minister's decision today?
Novak Djokovic and his team have been making those submissions in terms of why he should be allowed to stay, why the Minister should have exercised his ability to allow him to stay in the country. And there's the statement in full there now. So all of that would have been weighing on the Immigration Minister Alex Hawke as he came to this decision today. The question now is if they'll proceed with an appeal, which is likely, just how successful it could be. And there is, because of the way the decision has been made, it is the personal intervention of the Minister under the powers that he has. Asking for an appeal would effectively amount for what they call a judicial review, and all that can determine is whether the power has been exercised lawfully and in a way that is lawful. But the Minister has a lot of broad discretion here, so unless he's made a procedural error and he hasn't followed the Act completely in making this decision, then an appeal could be very unlikely to succeed for Novak Djokovic in his bid to stay in the country and attempt to play for a 10th Australian Open title.
We will await and see what the Djokovic camp makes a statement tonight. Paul Caddick there in the newsroom with that breaking news. Thank you.